I love you all with all my heart, with all my might. My videos are about love, energy, creation, infinity, because we're infinite love, infinite creation, infinite energy. Why? Because of the human heartbeat. You see, the human heartbeat generates the electromagnetic field of creation that powers the human body. It's the pulse of life, the pulse of creation. Surrounds the human body spherical in nature, and as a result of the electromagnetism of the human heartbeat, the resonance of it, the human body, the systems go live. We have a brain, so we can think, be conscious and self-aware. We're sentient as a result. We think, we feel, we have emotions. We're intelligent. So the primordial instinct of the human race, of our species, our meaning the first instinct, the instinct to live, the instinct to exist, is the human heartbeat. Without the human heartbeat, the human species, us, the human race, wouldn't exist. We all need a heartbeat, a pulse of life, a pulse of creation. So it's beautiful. It makes us full energy. Energy is creation, and creation is life. So the electromagnetic field, the force field of life and creation that is generated as a result of the resonance of the human heartbeat, powers the human body, so we can be conscious and self-aware. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful because as a result of that, we're sentient, so we can feel and have emotions. And where those emotions come from? Heart. From the heart. Love comes from the heart. We love with our hearts. And life comes from the heart because of the electromagnetic field that comes as a result of the resonance of the pulse of the heartbeat. So you see, so full circle. We live to love. This is our nature. Our nature is to love because love is energy. Love is energy. It can be measured at the labs with equipment and tools. It's a resonance. Emotions have energy, frequencies, vibration. You can measure it, and the highest frequency that the human heart can generate is the emotion of love. It's the highest frequency. Everything goes below love. All the other emotions go below love. Love is the highest one. And as we all know, creation, high energy creates high creations, just like the sun. A lot of energy is infinite energy. Light spherical being like us is a spherical object with its own electromagnetic field, creating elements. The first element of the periodic table, the hydrogen, comes as a result of this beautiful singularity that they had of the sun, this fusion that happens. The byproduct is light, hydrogen, photons. And this is a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. Creation is that. And then elements, generate the conditions for planets to exist, which is life itself at that terrestrial scale. That then, as a result of it, also the sphere that this Earth is right here. Earth is a sphere. It's a sphere. It's a spherical object. It has its own electromagnetic field. And then life is generated as a result, and then again we are also spherical light beings because the resonance of our heart, the human heartbeat, the pulse of life, the pulse of creation generates this force field around the human body that's spherical in nature. And then we can be conscious and self-aware. So you see, energy is creation and creation is life. So the higher the energy, the higher the creation. Just look at the energy levels of the sun and what it can create planets and life here on Earth, us, biological beings, through the DNA. So obviously we are creators ourselves because creation creates creators. So the highest frequency that we can emit is love, because energy comes from the heart, because the heart generates the electromagnetic pulse, the resonance of life itself, the biological scale. And our heart loves And love is energy, can be measured. It's the highest frequency that the heart generates from an emotional point of view, because we are sentient beings. So then again, if you love, it's the highest frequency. So you can create the most beautiful things with love, because it's the highest frequency. The highest frequency creates more powerful creations. So then again, how do we know this? Well, we make love, we have children. We see we are creating life by making love, engaging our heart, and then we create this beautiful, beautiful thing that we our offspring. And what's our instinct? Well, our instinct is to love our creation, because we are here to love. We live to love. So we love our children and we care about our children and we raise them, and then the life cycle continues, and our children themselves create life of their own. So you see, creation creates creators. We are creators, and creators create creations. So then again, full circle, because this is our nature, this is who we are. So it happens at the heart for a reason, because the heart gives us life, and then we love with our hearts. So we live to love. This is who we are. We live to love, and we love to live, because everyone wants to feel good, because we're sentient beings. We are here to love. So we all are here to have purposeful lives, meaningful lives, fulfilling lives, happy lives. This is what we are here to do. The purpose of life is a life of purpose, a purposeful life. This is the pinnacle of life, peak experience. And we are here to do that precisely, to create beautiful lives. This is what we are here to do. And then, so what does that make us? Because we're talking about instincts here, the instinct to live, which is a human heartbeat, the instinct to love, and then the instinct to reproduce. Is all connected, it's all instincts. So then again, so what does that make us if our instinct is to live to love and to create? Well, that makes us a benevolent species. So we are a benevolent species. Our nature is benevolence. We are a heartful species, a heart-based species, a love-based species, meaning we are here to love. And we love our creations, and we love with our hearts, because it's the highest frequency of creation. It's the highest state that we can reach, a loving state, a loving lifestyle, purposeful love. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing, because this is who we are. This is our nature. We are sundials. We're spherical. We are compass. We open the portal by opening our eyes, our heart, our mind, and staring at the sun, and building the bridge. The electromagnetic field of our heart syncs with the electromagnetic field of the sun. And when this happens, we open the portal, we build the bridge. And what does that do? Well, the light coming from the sun straight into our eyes supercharges our brains, supercharges our hearts, so we can be more loving. We got creators, because light itself is creation, and we are part of creation, and we are creators ourselves, so we can be more powerful creators, because more light gives us more energy. So that's just the way it works. And our eyes are the portal. Energy comes through our eyes, directly through the iris, into our heart, into our brain, supercharging us. Then our brains are supercharged, and we can be more creative, more powerful imaginations. Our creativity, our ideas, our visions of ourselves, our dream state, so our true self energy guiding us, can manifest our free will through purposeful daily action, and our dreams come true in that way. So you see, this is all connected. It's not such a thing as being infinite energy. This is who we are. This is our nature. So let's talk about today's video. Today's video is a fifth poem. So you can refer to it on the website and on Substack and YouTube. y.how/fifth-poem. That's y.how/fifth-poem. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to read the poem to you, the passages a few times, and then I'm going to break it down as I usually do. Okay, so let's do that then. So fear is a natural process, the adaptation to the new. What frightens us makes us. What makes us shapes us. What shapes us matters. And what matters, we do. No more, no less. When we do, When you do, you are. When you are, you become. When you become, you exist. When you exist, you know. No more, no less. So I'm going to read this one more time. Fear is a natural process, the adaptation to the new. What frightens us makes us. What makes us shapes us. What shapes us matters. And what matters, we do. No more, no less. When we do, when you do, you are. When you are, you become. When you become, you exist. When you exist, you know. No more, no less. So let's break this down. As I speak, the sun's coming out. It's just beautiful. Synchronicities. It's light, it's energy, it's creation. And we're all part of it. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Fear is a natural process. Yes, it is. It's a very low energy, though. It's a low vibration. It's a low frequency. It's a destructive frequency. It paralyzes the human body. And it leads to inaction. But nonetheless, we feel fear because we're sentient beings. It's a natural process, meaning it's a natural state. And it's a state of unawareness. It's a state of unconsciousness. Why? Because it's the lowest frequency, it's the lowest vibration that the human head generates. So love is the highest one. Fear is the lowest one. It's a very small little wave. Low vibration. It's a static almost. It's static. Very low. It's destructive. It's inert. Okay, it's the lowest frequency. It's the lowest one. It's just static. It's friction. That's fear. It's the lowest frequency, wavelength. And then again, you see, when you don't know who you are, fear controls you in a way, because your heart is not loving. It's not going where it's supposed to. It's instinct, which is the highest frequency we live to love. That's why we need to know who we are, because we are infinite energy, infinite love, infinite creation. We're light spherical beings, we're compass, we're sundials. This is who we are, this is our nature. We live to love and we love to live. So fear ends when we understand who we are, our identity and true self, because we love ourselves. And then we can love the things that we do and understand our nature. And then we become conscious and self-aware and understand who we are, light spherical beings. So fear is this, and for a long time humanity has lived under fear. Fear-based systems, fear-based societies, fear-based behavior across the board. That this is what war is, this is what death is, and all this different pain and suffering that has been prevalent in human affairs for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, because of unawareness and unconscious, not knowing who we were. Because then again, it's an evolution. It takes time to figure out who we are, this highly complex life form, a benevolent species. So then again, this is why the title of my book is Fantasies and Illusions, because that's exactly what a fantasy and an illusion does. Illusions rendering fantasies do exactly that. When they are low vibration, that's what they do. They generate fear-based systems. They generate a fear-based society. All these mediums and media out there that are not necessarily outside our control, that are not necessarily there making us loving and telling us who we are, our nature. They are there in a way distracting us with fear, with division, with hatred, with all sorts of low frequency pain, suffering, misinformation, disinformation, subjectivities, and unrealistic things, taboos and dogma, things that generalizations, stereotypes, conjectures, fallacies, falsehoods, all these notions being propagated and diffused through these mediums and media, fantasies and illusions that then we think are real, because that's what a fantasy is. A fantasy, you leave it out, and it comes from an illusion in the first place, and then you kind of think that's what it is, but in reality that's not who you are. It's not who you are. That's just a fantasy, an illusion, a distraction, and it comes from something outside your control. Could be any medium, could be media in general. There's an infinite number of mediums out there. So then again, that also leads to things you can control, because once the outside fantasy and illusion impacts you and then goes to your unconscious mind and it forms the shadow, then you are in control of the memory and the pain and the suffering and the trauma. And this is why fantasies and illusions and fear is a natural process, because when you don't know who you are, then all these things hit you. They become part of the makeup of who you are, your psyche, your personality, because you don't know your unconscious mind, and then you act out, you live your life in a purposeless manner, without purpose, purposelessly, moving around aimlessly, just like in a hypnotic state almost. So not knowing who you are, being unaware and unconscious of your nature, and this is something that is quite common. Not knowing that you're a compass, not knowing that you're a sundial, you're an infinite eternal creator, that you're light spherical beings, you're a loving species, you're a benevolent race, that you're an infinite eternal creator, that this is your nature and this is who you are, because of all these fantasies and illusions based on fear. But then again, that's why love is an instinct, the instinct to love and to feel good. We follow our hearts. This is what we do. We follow our hearts. We listen to our heart, to our inner voice. Our inner voice guides us in our inner search so we can find our true self. And this is what self-love is. And it all starts with love, because love is the highest energy of creation at the human scale. So we love ourselves. And when we love ourselves, when the journey of self-discovery begins, and self-awareness, and then we self-transcend eventually, once we go through this beautiful, beautiful process of knowing who we are, forming our self-image, understanding who we are, self-determination, all this natural process is a natural evolution, and it all has to do with love. Because love is the energy of creation, and love guides us because it comes from the heart, and the heart gives us life in the first place. And the way we experience this is through healing, recovery, forgiving, forgiveness, acceptance, gratitude. These are the emotions. These are the emotions that allow us to heal and make peace with our past, with our trauma, with our life, if it's not a good life, and all the things that have impacted us negatively. So this is how it starts. You see, we are sundials. This is why we can stare at the sun and open our hearts and open our minds, open the portal, build the bridge, because this is our nature. When we are lost, then the sun rises every day to remind us who we are, light spherical beings, infinite energy. That's why we're sundials, so we can open up our eyes, stare at the sun, and all the energy hits us straight in our minds, straight in our brains. So we can start the healing process, the growth process, the self-love process of creation and infinity. Because when we do this and we supercharge our brains and supercharge our hearts, what do you think the brain does? Well, the brain is formed with brain cells, and brain cells are DNA. Each cell has DNA structure in them, and the brain cells are extremely purposeful, just like all cells. And the purpose of the brain cell, because of the DNA script that runs it, the code, the genome, is to create, to imagine, to have visions, dreams, to recall, all these things, ideas, ideas. So then again, when you stare at the sun and you open the portal and build the bridge, because you have sundial, this is our nature, this is what we can do. We got spherical eyes for a reason, so we can stay at the sun and we can look at reality and see, because light gives us colors and everything is light out there because of the sun, because it's the energy that created everything in the first place, so we can exist and live and be sentient and be conscious and self-aware and have perception of reality through our senses and make sense of this world, this beautiful terrestrial existence here on Mama Earth, the Republic of Planet Earth. So then again, when you are purposeless, when you're not using your compass, when you are in fear, the sun's there to remind you that you cannot open your third eye, as we call it, open the portal, build the bridge. And when you do this, then what does it do immediately? It also supercharges your heart, and your heart cells do the same, allows you to remind yourself of love and self-love and creation itself. Be brave and courageous so you can face these fears. You can face your shadow. You can deal with the unconscious mind and all the trauma and all the past events, all the painful memories and the suffering, all the low vibration, all the static, all the friction, all these things. So then again, this is what it is. You know, you open your mind, you open your heart, you stare at the sun, you open your eyes, and all the information comes in. You build a bridge. Quantum entanglement, you're in sync with the sun. The electromagnetic field of the heart is in sync with the electromagnetic field of the sun. And then you can also heal. Fear is a natural process, meaning you are in that state and you're quite confused and you're purposeless. And you have, you know, your life is driven by fantasies and illusions. Then again, that's what the mind does first. It deals with them so you can actually elevate your frequency and go into a love state, which is our nature. And we do that through self-love. And self-love starts there with healing, recovering, forgiving, acceptance, gratitude. So then again, the way it works is, because these are fantasies and illusions, you start with the things that you can control, and these are your memories, the painful ones that you can deal with first, the trauma. So then your mind, because that's what it does, is supercharged. Then it generates a stack of memories that you can deal with. And then it starts to give you recalling each memory. And then you deal with the ones that you can cope with first, with your coping strategies, your coping mechanisms, positive coping strategies. And then, for example, it could be an event that just took place last week. You had an argument with someone and it made you feel very uncomfortable and sad. So then again, the memory hits you, and then because you're loving yourself, you're starting to awake. Then you start to heal and accept and forgive that person, forgive yourself, and you're grateful for the situation, for the event, and then you move on. So meaning love is a frequency. So it shatters this fantasy, this illusion, this memory, because remember, the event took place already in the past. It's not real anymore. It's an illusion that you generate with your mind. It's a memory. And that memory renders fantasies. And you leave out the fantasy thing, because when you recall the memory, something triggers a memory, meaning your shadow triggers it through its defense mechanisms. Then you start to feel the state of that emotion, that trauma, and then it's paralyzing you, and it keeps you in a very low vibration state that is not creative, self-destructive. Then again, when you face this memory and you deal with it, you recover, you heal, you love it, you give it love, and then the frequency of love, which is the highest frequency of the heart, it shatters that illusion, rendering the illusion obsolete. It disintegrates the shadow in a way at that state of that memory, of that fantasy. So it doesn't have a hold over you anymore. It discharges it, it disperses it, it releases the negative cognitive load of that thought, of that emotion. So the memory is not painful anymore. It's not fear-based anymore. So you don't suffer as a result of it. You neutralize it. And when you do that, then the memory just becomes a reminder of who you are, and it gives you the ability to be grateful. And then you start like that and learn from the experience, because every experience is a mentor. So then again, once you fully process that and you start to gain momentum, because it's all about infinity, it's all about self-perpetuity, it's about self-learning, self-reinforcement, because we are infinite in nature, we're light spherical beings. So then again, once you gain momentum with that and you're capable of understanding the mechanism of self-love, how everything gets started in the first place, then new memories, the stack of memories start to, flow. Because we are energy, we flow with our emotions. And when you start to love yourself, then you're capable of dealing and healing with more emotions. And then the brain, because it's highly intelligent, we are a very intelligent sentient species, gives you the next memory, the next trauma, the next event. And then you just do the same. You, with your love, your frequency, you shatter that illusion and render it obsolete. The fantasy doesn't have a hold anymore because the illusion's been disintegrated, the shadow has been disintegrated, and the unconscious become conscious. And then you become self-aware of it, self-discover yourself through self-love, and then your self-worth, your self-esteem, your self-image starts to form, because you realize that you are love, you are infinite energy, you are creation. And then again, you do the same. Disintegrate all these memories, disintegrate all these shadows, all these fantasies, all these illusions. You shatter them, render them obsolete. They have no effect. You deload them, you decharge them. You disperse the energy, you discharge it, you release it, all the negativity, the static, the friction, all these different things, all the background noise in your mind, the shadow, all that, the unconscious mind becomes conscious, self-aware, meaning all that has no hold. The memory remains, but it's not a fantasy, it's not an illusion anymore, it's just a memory that reminds you of who you are, and you're grateful for the experience because it made you who you are and allowed you to understand your nature, infinite creator, infinite eternal creator, self-love, spherical in nature, light spherical being, compass, sundial. This is why opening the portal and building the bridge is fundamental, because it allows you, it's like it boots the system, it gives you the power. You get the energy through your eyes, so immediately you start to heal. Immediately you start to know who you are, infinite light. It's like the reminder, the sun is the reminder of who we are, our source. We came from the sun. So then again, energy immediately, the memories kick in, and then you start to gain power of yourself, over yourself, and become this strong thing which you are, which we all are, which is infinite creators. Our nature is to love. We live to love, and we love to live. We love to live. This is who we are. This is our nature. It truly is. This is who we are. This is our nature.
I love you.
Sorry about that. This is who we are. This is our nature. This is our nature. This is who we are, because we're infinite energy. We are infinite energy. This is who we are. This is who we are. We are the human species. We are benevolent species. So I'm just making space here to make more videos. So this is exactly who we are. This is our nature, and this is how the process starts. The process starts with that, with sundial, opening our hearts, opening our minds, opening the portal, building the bridge, syncing with the electromagnetic field of the sun, syncing with the electromagnetic field of the heart, pairing them peer-to-peer, sending and receiving information in the way of light that we can process and supercharge our brains and supercharge our hearts as a result. So this is beautiful. This is who we are. This is our nature. And this will always be our nature, because this is who we are. We are the human species. We are the human species. And our nature is to love. We live to love, and we love to live. This is who we are. This is who we are. This is who we are. This is our nature. This is our nature. This is who we are. Okay, so then again, the process starts. So you start to deal with fear. Okay, and the memories come, and then this is you see, because you have lived for a long time, then you have a lot of memories and a lot of things to do to clear out, so you free up all that space. And when you free up all that energy, then you can use that energy to create, because eventually once you process and heal the automatic stage, because the brain can do is multitasking, so while you're still healing and dealing with the memories and recalling, you can do other things. So at the same time, your mind starts to form an idea of who you are, because of true self is that it starts with self-love. And when you start to self-discover and then go through your dimensions and things throughout your days, then you start to find your true self, because then you start to follow your heart, because your heart is love and energy, and you want to feel good. And you want to feel good. And because you want to feel good and you want to do all these things, then again, you start to form the visions of who you are, your true image, who you truly are, and then the dreams can come true because you're a compass and you manifest them with your purposeful daily action, because you manifest free will as a compass by taking purposeful daily action every day, and then you get to your destination, meaning your dreams come true because you understand who you are. So this is the process, this is the mechanism. So that's why fear is a natural process. Sometimes that because it's the lowest vibration and we gotta make it all the way up, which is called evolution. So we go from, and when you love, you know the difference. When you love and you self-love and you create loving creations and you love yourself and you feel good, because love is about feeling good. It's about following your heart and feeling good about what you do, being happy and all these positive emotions, because this is our nature. We're sentient beings, we're benevolent species. We are here to love, and we create with love because we're infinite eternal creators. Okay, so this is who we are. So then again, when you know love, then you know the difference between love and fear immediately, because your heart feels you're sentient, you're conscious and self-aware. So you know that when fear is around, or there's a thought that's fearful, or emotion that's negative, low vibration, self-destructive in nature, because of its bandwidth very low, the shadow or whatever, the unconscious mind, is a fantasy and illusion out there lurking. See, these mediums and media outside your control, or this is memories of yourself that you can control, the events that are happening in your life that you can control, that are fantasies and illusions, low vibration. You would immediately recognize them because of your frequency. You see, you have a strong electromagnetic field around you. Your light spherical being, who you are, is powerful, self-aware and conscious. So all this negativity around you is immediately identified and dealt with, and because of your high frequency, it gets shattered immediately, because that's what energy does. Where a low vibration meets a high vibration, it gets disintegrated, the low one, meaning it ceases to exist, and whatever remains of it, because of electromagnetism, it becomes one with the positive one, the higher frequency. It unites it, because electromagnetism attracts everything that it reinforces the mechanism and makes it stronger. And this is what memories are. Your memories make you stronger because you disintegrate them, the shadow and the negativity. You shatter the fantasies and delusions, discharge them, deload them, disperse the energy, discharge it, release it, the negativity, but then the memory remains, which is the essence of it, the positivity, which is the gratefulness, the gratitude, the acceptance, the forgiveness, the experience itself, and then it joins your mind and is integrated into your conscious mind. And that's the biological way that we go about it, in a conscious manner with the mind, but in an energy terms, it's just dispersing it and disintegrating it, the bodies. So that's why the ants and the dragons, and that's what you're capable of taming the wild horse, the mind. So then again, if you understand this notion, everything that's lower than love, you would immediately identify when you're vibrating at a love frequency, and love is your normal mind state. Your consciousness is that, because that's who we are. We are creating at the highest level of creation with love. So everything that's negative, that coming from the outside, fantasies and illusions, mediums and media, and things, events that happen in your life that enter your center of gravity, your electromagnetic field of creation, your perception, your awareness, what you can see, your reality, because remember, we see through we feel through our senses and our mind and emotions and all these. We are conscious or self-aware sentient beings. We see all these different things. We feel we are alive. And then we have a center of gravity, ourself, our true self. And then because we have the pulse of life, the pulse of creation is our center of gravity. The singularity is the wormhole of our lives, is the vortex, is the event horizon, because it generates the pulse that generates the electromagnetic field of life and creation, so systems go live and we can live. So because of it, everything that goes around our perception, our reality, that's not conducive to love and positivity and a purposeful life, immediately the system picks it up, our senses, and we deal with it and we shatter it immediately. Whatever that is, whatever the medium, whatever the media, we would understand, we would know who the messenger is, and we would know what the message is, both together, and then understand it and move on, because it doesn't really serve us. But then again, sometimes to understand good, you need to know what bad is. This is what consciousness and self-awareness is. So when you love, you know fear, and identify fear immediately for what it is, a low emotion, a low vibration. So, and everything that comes as a result of fear-based systems. So immediately when you love, you identify it, and then that's it. That's consciousness and self-awareness. So that's why fear is a natural process, because it allows us to understand what love is, our nature. So then that's why fear is a natural process, and that's the beginning of the poem. And then the adaptation to the new is the next line, which is, and what's the new? Well, the new is infinite love, is who you are, your nature, self-awareness, light spherical beings. We are sundials. This is who we are. We are a compass, identity and true self, purpose, time and energy, action, purpose for daily action, why, how, the recalibrating mechanism establishing our bearings, the self-correcting mechanism to make sure that we always on true north, directional compass, so we headed to our destination. Flow, because that's what flow is flowing with our emotions, our love, our energy, feeling good, and the actions ourselves, because it's energy, and energy is motion. So we flow with our actions. Body energy taking purpose for daily action, heart energy resonating with daily action, with our love for our creation, because we love what we do. We're taking actions that we're happy about. We exercise because it feels good, and that's a positive emotion. His energy is heart-based, his heart energy. Then we commit our brain energy, mind energy, meaning we're focused on purpose for daily action, so we're more creative. Then that leads to the highest energy, which is true self energy, guiding purpose for daily action, because your true self energy, your true self guides you. It's who you are, it's your essence, it's your event horizon, it's a singularity that comes from life itself, from creation itself, from the human heartbeat. And this is who you are. Systems go live is the kernel. If you think in terms of that, if you think of the human body as our consciousness, our self-awareness, our being sentient, our intelligence comes from the kernel. And the kernel, the source code, is our true self. And that comes from when all systems go live. As a result of the heartbeat, the DNA kicks in and it gives us that, what we call being alive. That's that true self. Is the source code, is a kernel that comes from the DNA, and the DNA gets powered by the electromagnetic pulse of creation, which is a human heartbeat. So then again, you understand who you are, and your true self energy guides you, your purpose for daily action. So because when you have these visions of yourself, when you open the portal and build the bridge, what does that do? Well, you have visions, and your visions are images of the future, what your true self wants of you. Say, hey, this is our dream, this is our purpose, this is our calling. And we're going to get there, we're going to make it happen by taking purpose for daily action. So we flow through our actions, we manage our time and our energy. And then when we flow through our actions, with our feelings, we follow our heart, we feel good about our actions, signs and signals guiding us, the inner voice, the heart. Then we are on true north, on track, on path, on the way, on course. This is where we're headed towards our destination, our dreams coming true, manifesting our dreams. And this is the adaptation to the new, understanding this, who you are, compass, sundial. You see, it all comes together as one. It all comes together as one. So it's understanding that. So then what frightens us makes us then again, because the frightening event, the fright is this low vibration that kicks into gear and reminds us of our nature. We are love, we are the opposite of that. So it's just a signal to our heart. It's a sign that you need to work on it. Why is this frightening you in the first place? Why is this event, this medium, this media, this fantasy, this illusion outside your control or within your control frightening you? Why is this frightening you? Saying why, then again, engage in why. Infinite eternal creation, the nature of why is infinite. So when you ask why am I frightened? Why is this frightening me? Why am I afraid of this? Why is this a fear that I have? Then immediately it reminds us of who we are, and then your mind kicks in, and then the memory comes, and then why starts to pour in, and your brain guides you through your true self energy, and then the memories come in and remind you as to why this is a frightening thing, and then you can disintegrate it with your love, because you love and recover, and you heal and forgive and accept and be grateful and move on and understand the nature. You